Technical Sergeant Jeff McClary. I'm a recruiter with the Wyoming Air National Guard. I've been serving nearly 12 years come this August. Why is Black History Month important to me? Because it gives those of a minority sect to an opportunity to share their experiences, to also share the history, because sometimes it does get forgotten. We go along with our day-to-day lives. We just conduct the mission, we do whatever our job entails. But I think it is good to sometimes take a pause, stop and think about where you come from, how far along you've come from that point, and then what the future looks like. As minute as it may seem sometimes, I think it is important because someone is always looking up to you, whether you realize it or not. I actually have a story about that. I was a Air Force cadet at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Daytona Beach. I had absolutely no interest in joining the military prior to that. The only reason why I joined Air Force ROTC at the time is because my track coach, he kind of pressed upon us like, hey, this could kind of help pay for his college along with your track scholarship. I was like, okay. And the university I went to at the time, they happened to have all the branches. And just looking at it, I'm like, Air Force, Army, Navy, Marine. I feel like Air Force is more my speed. I'll never forget this gentleman, Major Glenn. Big, bald, black dude. He had to be like 6'6", 265 pounds. Kind of an imposing figure when you look at him. But super sharp dude, but very friendly, very down to earth. I remember him asking me some questions like, hey, where you from? Like, what's your name? You know, how things going? What brings you here? Going into, I guess, my background, explaining where I came from, he's like, no matter what that place might have been, I know exactly where you come from. Like, you can do this. Because even there at the detachment, there was about 300 cadets in the Air Force ROTC program. Probably less than 5% were of African American descent. It was really cool for him to kind of connect with me that way. And I knew how I grew up. I knew what I seen growing up, some of the bad, some good, but there was a lot of things that were kind of like, that could easily turn your trajectory into a negative path. But him understanding where I came from and kind of just giving me that little tidbit like, hey, you can do this, despite what it looked like. I was like, oh man, okay, that's cool. And I think that's where that spark kind of started for me. Because again, prior to that, I had absolutely no interest in joining the military. Major Glenn, he's well retired by now, probably rocking a full beard somewhere. But I don't think he really realized just how much of an impression he made on me that day. If I were to give a message to young African Americans who may be remotely considering the military, I would say, do it. We've come such a long way as a group of people, and we've shown what we're worth, not just to this country, but to the military as well, the value that we bring. It will challenge you in ways that you've never experienced, which will, I believe, ultimately make you a better person, not just a better airman, soldier, Marine, seaman. I would absolutely say, pursue it. Speak to someone who may look like you, who may come from a similar background, just because their experience and their explanation of what they've gone through probably will be a little bit more tailored to you, and it'd be a little bit more of an understanding. So I would definitely say, do it. Because I think I would have honestly joined the military sooner if I had. I didn't join until I was 23 years old. Sometimes I do wish I'd have joined right out of high school. I would have been further along with my career, but you can't cry with spilled milk. At the same time, I'm very happy with my decision, and I wouldn't do it any other way.